What's up, guys? Welcome to benicellguy. How are you guys doing today? Go ahead and comment below. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing in this video is, this is episode number 2 of this series on this channel, benicellguy, What Do I Think? Now, before we get started, I'm going to do an update on this series right here before I get along with the topic, which you can probably already tell from the title up there. So, I did mention in my last What Do I Think video, episode number 1, is that I didn't make a confirmed date on when I'll be doing these, but you should expect these once a week. And I confirmed that I'll be doing this every Sunday. And if I'm not able to post it on Sunday, I'll post it the next day. If not on that day, the next day, so on and so forth. If you don't see it at all on that week, I do apologize, and I'll try to get it up as I'll try to get it up right away as fast as I can. I'll do it as soon as possible. So, without further ado, let's get onto the topic. And what I'm here to talk about is Mac versus PC debate. And for those of you guys that don't know what a Mac is or what a PC is, now you guys are probably like, dude, everyone knows what these operating systems are. Well, there might be some people that don't know, because I'll be honest with you, when I had my old e-machine, I never even knew what a Mac was. I just thought that Apple also made PCs, but no, I just found out that Apple makes their own operating system for personal computers, so yeah. Anyway, Mac stands for Macintosh, and that's their operating system that's made by Apple, and that's what you see in the current MacBooks, you know, MacBook Pros, MacBook Airs, iMacs, Mac Minis, and the Mac Pros. And then PCs, you would see it from different manufacturers, which is running Windows, either Windows XP, Vista, or 7. You know, we got Sony, Samsung, Dell, Toshiba, eMachine, HP. Don't ever get an eMachine. Boy, those suck. Anyway, so those are some manufacturers that make PCs as well. Now, the reason why I'm making this video right now, is because the person that encouraged me to talk about this topic in this video today is Lamar Wilson. He is a YouTuber from WilsonTech1, or you can say the WilsonTech1 Show. He's an amazing tech reporter, and he's very entertaining as well. He was actually pretty funny. My favorite video from him was when he was playing with Siri. My favorite quote from that video was, "My name is Lamar!" Anyway, go ahead and check out that video. All his social links will be in the description below. Check out his YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook, Google+. Now, please know Google+ is his primary social media that he gets on. But once in a while, he'll go on Facebook and Twitter, so you can follow him at those as well. Also, you can subscribe to him. Anyway, the reason why he encouraged me to do this topic is because he's a tech reporter, and he used to be a tech reviewer, and he usually used Windows, and then he gave Apple a chance, so he bought the iPad from Apple, and then he said it's amazing, and then he bought an iMac, and then he said it's amazing as well. So he pretty much learns both operating systems. He's learned both Windows and Macs. And then he started using the iPhone, you know, because he was an Android user for a while, and then he learned iOS. The reason why he used both operating systems is because he wanted to increase his knowledge in technology, and this is what I want to get to. So, Mac versus PC debates. We've seen videos on YouTube where people would compare a PC to a Mac. And how did they do this? Speed test. Talk about advantages and disadvantages you get with a PC and a Mac. And they talk about, okay, which one's cheaper now, and so on and so forth. Me personally, those are unfair comparisons, because some people, they say, oh, PCs are better because some of them have better specs, and I can get a better spec PC, whereas a Mac, they don't even get up to those specs. Guys, you have to realize, the reason why people go for a Mac instead of a PC is because they like the user interface. They think it's more friendly than PC users. And the reason for that is because they don't want to deal with all this virus crap and then have to have an antivirus thing running, you know, Norton, AVG, McAfee. People don't want to deal with viruses. That's why they go with the Macs. And I feel that all these comparisons that are being done on YouTube, they're unfair. For example, I saw a video where Sony were comparing the Sony Vaio S series, and they compared the MacBook Pro. Now, what they say is that the Sony Vaio S series has, I'm making these numbers up, I don't know, 300 gigabytes of hard drive, and whereas the MacBook Pro only has a 250 gigabytes, and it goes up to, I don't know, 8 gigs of RAM, whereas the MacBook Pro can, although that's a lie. And, yeah, you know, there are these things that I don't like about these comparisons, is that they're comparing their specs. They're not comparing the operating system itself. The way I see a PC versus Mac debate is you compare the operating systems. You compare Windows to Mac. Okay, why would somebody want to go with Windows? Why would somebody want to go with a Mac? Me personally, if I was choosing which operating system I would use, I would do it because of what I need. Okay, and it doesn't involve power. It doesn't involve RAM right away. It just involves on what I'm trying to do with the darn thing. And the fact that people say, I could get a better spec PC and I could get it much cheaper. Apple is overpriced. There's a reason why Apple put up those devices, because you're getting high quality products and they just look stylish. I don't know what else to say, you know. I think the reason why they're overpriced is because of how much they put into the operating system to make it easy for the average user. Windows, you're pretty much on your own. It's an open market. And let me show you an example why people would go with one operating system than the other. Or what am I saying, show you? Talk about it. Let me use my dad for example. So I've been telling him when I had my e-machine that I've always wanted a Mac, and I've been telling him that Macs don't get viruses and I would like one day, and he's like, well, I was actually gonna get a Mac because I was thinking about it, but I did some research. This is his quote, by the way, and the Macs aren't very popular and not a lot of programs are supported, and that's the reason why he stayed with Windows, because he had a Sony Vaio AR series, which is running Windows XP, and he had it for, I believe it's been 9 years right now. The thing still works, except it has a slower processor, which is only dual core. It's not that much slower. And he had like 2 batteries for it, and then they both got defective because he forgot to, well, the first battery, he just left it plugged in. And then when he unplugged it to use it on the go, the thing just shut off. And then what he was going to do with his second battery, the extended one, is that unplug it once a month, or give it a full charge, and then unplug it once a month, drain the battery, and then plug it back in. And he forgot to do that for the second battery, therefore that battery has been defected as well. And he was cross-shopping a computer on Sony.com, and it had like a great deal, so he just bought it. You know what he bought? He bought a Windows 7 PC laptop from Sony Vaio F series. Not this particular model you're seeing in the background with my logo on it. He actually got the VPC F1, the first generation of the F series. What you're seeing back here is the second generation. And the reason why he went with Windows besides a Mac is because there were programs that he wanted but aren't supported with the Mac, and I told him, well, you can install Windows via Boot Camp or just do it on the virtual machine. And he's like, yeah, but when you like just take an operating system and then install it on the Mac, it's not like a full Windows experience. And I talked to some people, they say it's a full Windows experience, but he decided, well, Windows, I'm pretty much more familiar with it because Apple is like different, and that's what everybody's gonna say. People who only use Macs and try using Windows, they're gonna say, it's different. I get that. But the one program that he wanted on there that wasn't for the Mac is PBS. PBS is basically PP streaming, and that's where you can see all these Chinese shows, movies, etc. And that wasn't available for the Mac. So he decided he might as well just get a Windows PC laptop so he can use that program. So I get that. And here's another thing I want to mention. So I mentioned before that people complain about Apple being overpriced. They're not overpriced. In fact, between these operating systems, the prices are pretty much stable. Like, they're pretty much the same. For example, my dad, like, when he was ordering his computer, he didn't get the stocked specs from Sony themselves. What he did was he built his from Sony.com. So he get a solid state drive, up the memory, up the resolution. He basically wanted the best. He wanted to up everything to its maximum that capacity that it can go to. Now people are like, yeah, but I could get those specs too for a lot cheaper from a different manufacturer. I'm guessing people are buying HPs. HPs suck. Like, if you're saying you can get those specs on a different computer much cheaper than that, that's probably because you're not buying a high quality laptop. You're buying a cheap computer that